Hey guys, it's Debbie, and I hope you all are doing well. I just wanted to come on today and to remind you to love yourself. It was recently just Valentine's Day, and whether you have a Valentine or not, it's so important that you actually love yourself. You know, many times someone will come up to you and they will ask you how you're doing, and you want them to think that everything's fine. But you want them to think that you've got the shiny heart and that you're okay and that it's all sparkles and everything's good. When somebody says the word fine, I've actually heard that it says that it means freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. And we all have our bad days, and we all try to mask and pretend that everything's okay. And honestly, I think that a lot of times when somebody is pretending that everything's okay, that their heart looks a little bit more like this. Yes, it might still be sparkly, and yes, it might be wrapped up in this beautiful little bow, but as you can see, there's all these little cutouts. And I think that that is sometimes heartbreak, sometimes it's frustration, sometimes it's little heart walls that people put up. And I just heard something yesterday which was very interesting. As a kid, they would say, like, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. And that's not true, because they do say that life and death are in the power of the tongue, and our words actually matter. But what I had heard was that in the average household, for every one positive word that is spoken, there's actually 10 negative words that are spoken. And that may not be intentional. It may just be someone's upbringing, and it may just be the way that people actually talk. But then for every negative word that is spoken, that it's going to take 7 to 8 positive words to actually offset that. And, you might have heard that they say from like birth through, now they're saying like age 10, children are like sponges. And they are absorbing things that they hear in the background, maybe in the radio or the television, or parents or other siblings or something say. And that becomes part of who they are. So maybe, growing up in the household, there was arguing or fighting or using bad language or something like that. And somebody may speak like that, and it may not be intentional. So just kind of cut people some slack and, take that into consideration. The other thing they say is that the human brain isn't actually completely formed until we're 25 years old. So whether you're over 25 or you're under 25, you may not actually realize, the things that have affected you. And you actually, can be the person in your family to break the chains. If you remember making these in grade school, this was for Valentine's Day, but you would do like the red and green ones, or you would do colored ones and you'd put them up in the classroom, or you would maybe put them on the Christmas tree or hang them up for birthday parties and stuff like that. You can actually kind of break that cycle. And here's the thing, when people say something, it may be that they have really good intentions. Like, I don't know if you ever remember the show The Middle. I love that show. And Sue was always trying out for something. She was trying out for track. She was trying out for show choir. She was trying out for cheerleading. And her well-meaning parents would always try to like encourage her, but they knew that she had this sort of history of not making things. I think that's even the first episode of that long-running show. And, somebody could well-meaningly, like a parent, a teacher, a coach, or something like that, say something to you because they don't want you to get your hopes up too high, and it may not be intentional. So again, I'm not encouraging people saying negative things or just, pushing that off like, oh, well, whatever. I'm just trying to put some context around that. And again, I remind you that the words we say to ourselves, again, they're going in one ear and they're coming out the other, but they're kind of stored in there. Our brains are like computers, and it like remembers all of that stuff. So many times, and I'll catch my husband doing this, say something negative about himself, and I'll try to say, please be careful what you're saying to yourself, because, our words kind of form, who we are. So maybe if you're a parent or a teacher or a coach or somebody, even an older sibling, trying to, encourage somebody, but you're your words are coming out like a little bit negative, be really careful to maybe reframe the sentence and put it out there a little bit more positively, because that stuff stays with us and it does cause a little bit of heartache and a little bit of heartbreak. Like, even to this day, somebody may not go over and maybe sign up for a class, or they may not decide to go and pursue something in their older adult life because of a word or a counselor or a school advisor or somebody who said something to them. And I just don't want that to affect the way that you love and think about yourself. We've all had situations that we've gone through where we've said something that we didn't mean to say, or we've experienced some sort of disappointment or some sort of trauma or something in our lives, and it can really wreak havoc on us. I've done, as I mentioned before, a lot of deep healing, and honestly, I am literally still processing a particular thing that happened over 30 years ago. And that person maybe said something in a text, or now on social media, or they've ghosted you or something, and it's really affected your self-esteem and it's affected your self-love. And I just want to remind you that you are loved, that you matter, that your feelings matter, and as you extend unconditional grace and love and mercy to other people, please be kind and do that to yourself, and love yourself for who you are, who you've become, and who you are actually becoming, because we are all evolving, we are all changing, we are all trying to do the work. And as we do the inner work and we actually acknowledge what's happening and not push it down, because somehow it needs to come up, or it's going to come out in some way, shape, or form, whether that's your emotions, whether that's something physical in your body or something, it needs to be addressed. And I have a lot of different people that I follow. So if you're interested in knowing any of these people that I follow that do a lot of this type of thing, like emotional freedom technique, tapping, body talk, guided meditation, and different things like that, definitely let me know in the chat or send me a DM, because I would be so happy to share that with you. Everybody's got their own journey to go on, but the more we can collectively raise the energy and send out more love, I think the better we're all going to be. And again, thanks for watching. Please feel free to share this. Feel free to give me again topics that you would like me to talk about. But I just felt like, since it's Love Week and it's Valentine's Day, sometimes that can be really hard for people. But this time I want you to just focus the rest of this week, maybe the rest of this month, on loving yourself and doing something that's going to make you happy. Have a great day. Bye.